If you're jumping into Highguard and wondering how to keep your squad alive while still turning the tide of a PvP raid, you're in the right place. Highguard is a fast, intense raid shooter where picking the right warden can make or break your run, and support wardens are all about giving your team that extra edge. They're not always the flashiest, but when played right, they're absolute game changers, creating openings, saving bad situations, and helping your teammates secure more kills. In this video, we're focusing on Mara, one of the key support wardens in Highguard. Mara shines when it comes to providing armor and opening up new respawn opportunities, which can completely flip the momentum of a raid. We'll break down how her kit works, why she's so valuable in team fights, and share some practical tips to help you get the most out of her in real matches. So if you want to be the reason your team survives longer and wins more raids, let's dive into this Mara guide together. I'm quickly moving on to the video.
Of the audience
Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos,
don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos.
Enjoy watching.
Thanks.
Mara is a support character, and as such, you'll be using her to help your teammates in their raids and get advantageous positions. Let's check out her abilities below. Soul Armor is one of those tactical powers on Mara that looks simple at first, but once you really use it properly, it becomes a huge game changer. Basically, Mara can carry these orbs that grant extra armor, and you get to decide whether that armor goes to you or to your allies. If you want to armor yourself, you hold the tactical power button and then press fire to consume the orb. It feels very intentional, like you are making a conscious decision to invest in your own survivability rather than just panic pressing a button. Using soul armor on allies is just as satisfying and honestly, even easier than most people think. You throw the orb like a grenade toward your teammate, but here is the important part. You do not actually need to hit them directly. As long as the orb lands close enough, it will automatically attach to them and give them the armor boost. This makes it perfect for chaotic fights where no one stands still. You can support your team without perfect aim, which fits Mara's flexible and tactical playstyle really well in Highguard. You can carry up to 3 soul armor orbs at the same time, so managing them smartly is key. You will always know when the armor is active thanks to clear visual cues. Characters with soul armor equipped get this glowing purple armor effect, and there is also a pink highlight edge on the armor indicator at the bottom left side of the screen. Once you get used to watching those indicators, soul armor stops being just a defensive tool and starts feeling like a rhythm you play around, constantly deciding who needs that extra protection next. Sacrifice is one of those passive abilities that really defines how Mara plays in Highguard. When an enemy goes down, they leave behind a core, and instead of ignoring it, you can actually turn that into power. All you have to do is aim at the enemy core and hold the revive button when the prompt shows up. It feels a bit strange at first because you are used to reviving allies, but here you are doing the exact opposite, consuming the core to charge your ultimate power faster. There are a couple of important things to keep in mind while using Sacrifice. You need to be very close to the enemy core, basically the same distance you would need to revive a teammate. On top of that, you are vulnerable while performing the action, so timing and positioning really matter. This is not something you want to do in the middle of open fire, but when you find a safe window, the ultimate charge you gain can absolutely be worth the risk. On top of charging your ultimate power, Sacrifice has a really strong tactical side to it. By consuming the enemy core, you completely deny the opposing team the chance to revive that teammate. In many situations, that alone can decide the fight in your favor. It turns every downed enemy into a choice. Do you play it safe or do you step in, sacrifice the core, and swing the momentum of the match your way? Immortal Coil is Mara's ultimate power, and it is all about control and pressure in Highguard. When you activate it, Mara creates an additional spawn point that both you and your allies can use. During the respawn menu, everyone on your team will clearly see this option marked as a purple spawn point, which instantly opens up new ways to get back into the fight faster or return to a key area without walking across the whole map. The best part is that you can place this spawn point almost anywhere you want, and it does not disappear on its own. That said, it is not completely untouchable. Enemies can destroy it if they interact with it for a short moment, so placement really matters. If you hide it well or defend it properly, Immortal Coil can completely shift the flow of a match and keep your team coming back stronger every time. When playing Mara, it is important to remember that even though she is designed as a supporter, you are not locked into a purely passive role. Depending on your team composition and weapon choices, you can lean a bit more toward an aggressive playstyle. Since soul armor can be used on yourself, you gain a small but meaningful edge in risky moments, like pushing into a fight, disarming a bomb, or going for the raid sword under pressure. That said, there are definitely characters in Highguard who are more effective when it comes to pure damage per second. Mara will not outgun them in a straight up duel most of the time. Your strength comes from smart timing, positioning, and keeping yourself and your team alive long enough to win extended fights rather than trying to top the damage charts. One thing many players forget is that you can carry up to 3 soul armor orbs when fully charged. Ideally, that means 1 for you and 1 for each teammate. Used correctly, this turns soul armor into a team-wide advantage instead of a selfish defensive tool. If everyone has that extra layer of protection, your chances of winning team fights increase dramatically. Because soul armor orbs can be thrown like grenades, you do not need to put yourself in danger to support your allies. You can toss them from a safe distance while a teammate is arming or disarming a bomb, or even mid-fight. This allows you to protect your team without stepping into the line of fire while still contributing with your regular weapons. When it comes to sacrifice, communication is absolutely key. You should let your teammates know that enemy cores are especially valuable to you. This is even more important if you are playing with newcomers who might not fully understand what Mara does. Ask them to leave the cores behind so you can use them properly. Other wardens can also destroy enemy cores to prevent revives, but the difference is that they do not gain extra value from it. Mara does. Every core you sacrifice helps charge your ultimate power faster, which can snowball into a big advantage if your team plays around it correctly. Learning where and when to use a mortal coil takes experience with the maps. Personally, this ultimate feels strongest when you are on the attacking side during a raid. Placing strong spawn points close to objectives allows fallen teammates to get back into the action quickly, often catching defenders off guard. Try to avoid placing a mortal coil in obvious locations, like inside the same room as a generator. Enemies will expect it there and be ready to punish your team. As a bonus tip, you can even use a mortal coil as bait. When enemies spot it, they often rush to destroy it. If you watch it carefully or wait nearby in an unexpected spot, you can catch them off guard and turn their mistake into an easy takedown. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.